If you don't already have a logo, you can create one, and I am going to show you how to use a tool online to be able to do this for free. Now there are a number of different tools that are available online that will charge you a nominal fee, and certainly you're welcome to use one of those. But this one I really like because there is a way to get it done without spending any money. And if your budget is tight and you need to get things up and running and don't have a way to pay to get a logo made, then this is a great option. So first thing we're going to do is go to the website. So it's logomaker.com, and it's maker without the E. So it's logomaker.com. So you're going to go to this website. It's going to have a little sample logo here. Now one thing I want to note, look at the difference in size between burger and the words restaurant and grill. So this is a nice way to do a logo. So you want to think about size, contrast. You want to think about maybe color contrast, which I'm not doing here, but just a couple of things to think about when looking at the name of your business. Another thing you can do is include a little icon. Now on this particular tool, if you use an icon, which you would find by searching for graphics in this section up in the top left, it will, when you go to save, this tool will ask you to credit the artist that came up with this little graphic. So if you don't want to mess with having to deal with that and credit people on your website, then I recommend at this point leaving off the graphic and just doing the text version. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to type in the name of the company that I want to create a logo for. So this company has 3 words in the name, so I'm going to type it in 3 different sections so that I can manipulate each one individually. Okay, so I'm going to type that in. Okay. So once you type in the name of your business, next thing you can do is you select the word that you want to change, maybe the font, and they have a nice font selection up here in the top. What they've done is they've grouped fonts together in categories, so they have a variety of different fonts in each of these categories. So let's go with decorative. And then here are all of the options under decorative. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to stick with simple and modern. One thing I want you to keep in mind when you're creating is you really need to make sure it's easy to read and it's simple. You don't want a lot of flair, you don't want a ton of colors, you don't want a lot of fonts. You want to keep things clean and easy so that a person at a glance can see what the name of your business is. I want you to think about big companies like Nike, McDonald's. Think about their logos. They really are very simple when you're looking at just the text portion of them. And simple is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with simple. Simple is good. So I'm going to go through here and choose the font that I like for these words. Okay, and then once we do that, next step I'm going to show you selecting colors. So let's change this. Okay, so what I'm going to do also is I want you to see the size. This is the biggest word I have selected here as far as size on the screen. So it's showing you up here the size in width and height. I want you to create this at about 300 at either the tallest or the widest point. So what you can do to resize this is you want to click and drag. Now I want you to click and drag in the corners only. If you click and drag in the middle, you're going to end up skewing this font, which is really going to mess things up. So be sure you're on this font that you're clicking it, and you can see as I'm dragging it that the pixels there next to the arrow are changing. So I want to bump that up to 300 or somewhere in that ballpark width with the widest part. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with this and make these the sizes that I would like for them to be. Okay, so another thing you can do is kind of get things to nest in other areas. like this. It's nice to have this variation of sizes. What I'm also going to do is make this, make each of these line up on the left, and then what I want to do is have the top of this B line up with that Y above. It just helps the eye, as it's traveling across this logo, be able to read this as a unit. Okay, so now that I have this just as I would like it, what I'm going to do is change the colors. So select the one that you want to change the color for. And you can see there's a rainbow ring of colors around the outside, and then the color that's selected here is red selected. Then it has this nice variety of red colors in the middle. So you can make this as dark, you can make it more of a burgundy color, you can make it more of a pink, whatever you'd like. What I'm going to do is choose a nice teal color. So keeping in mind that color choice is really important with it needs to make sense with your company and with your prospective customers. You don't want to go to an attorney's website and see lots of flashy pink and purple and bright red. You want to know that they're trustworthy and that they're going to take your case seriously or your questions seriously. So you would expect a lawyer's website to have colors that evoke that. So colors like navy, colors like a nice dark gray, nothing too flashy. So make sure that your color choices make sense with what you're selecting. Okay, so I'm going to select a gray for this one. Okay, and then I'm going to select the same gray for this one as well. So now that I have this logo as I would like it, my next step is to download this. So what I'm going to do is come up here in the upper right hand corner in this little icon and click Save Logo. So what it's done is downloaded it to my desktop. So what I'm going to do is open this up, and it's downloaded this so that I'm able to use this. So you'll notice that it says drawing, and it's a PNG file, which works really well on websites. So now you're all set and you've created your logo. So happy creating!